Yo te iba a decir si hacíamos un pedazo en inglés también, porque si no, no se los voy a poder, no lo van a poder ver nada de mis jugadores.
The high school players?
O de la universidad. Tengo nada más como 3 o 4 que hablan español.
Okay.
Todas hablan en inglés.
Let's do this bit in English then. What are some of the things that you're looking forward to this season for SCU? Is it the new group of players,
Mm-hmm.
the new, the atmosphere that the team is going to have?
Mm-hmm. We have great chemistry. We have great atmosphere. I'm looking for the girls to take that final step into believing in what we're doing and put it in practice. I feel like we have the talent, but last year, mentally and maybe emotionally, sometimes we were very immature, and that's what we need to break that wall. And so it comes with accountability, it comes with believing, and like that responsibility of like assuming like, hey, this is my team, and I need to do what I need to do, and not put it so much on the coaching staff or on the school or on the facility. That's the beauty about soccer, is that you don't need much. It's one sport that you don't really need much. You have a soccer field, you have lines, and you have a soccer ball and goals, you're good. But you don't need state-of-the-art facilities to do amazing things, and but a lot of people believe that. But if you go to other countries and you see successful teams, that's why soccer is so appealing in the world, because the smallest team or the weakest team can knock off the
biggest team, because all you need is a ball and
exactly.
a field. It can definitely be overcomplicated, but you don't like overcomplicating it. It's simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Do you have, like, if I were to ask one of your players, what are the top 5 phrases you hear Coach Castillo say? Like, if we made a shirt of the phrases Coach Castillo would say, what would some of the phrases be on there?
I believe so, but I like to keep things light sometimes. And I know I have had, especially in college, I have had girls that take it so serious, and they're so like, they want me to be like a drill sergeant, and I don't see soccer like that. Soccer to me is a player's game. So I can give you the tools for you to have success, but ultimately it's going to be up to you. I cannot go in and score the goal, or I cannot save it for you, right? But I can do and help you, develop and see what I think is going to work, right? And soccer is, if it works, the coaches, oh man, you did a great job. But
coaches,
but if it doesn't work, it's like, oh, you're the worst coach in the world, and so that's why, like, I want my players to own it, to own that responsibility as a player, right? And I always own my responsibility as a coach. Ultimately, it's my team, right? But I'd like players that take that responsibility. So phrases will be like, keep it simple, like, don't overthink. If you look at all these programs and shows that have that, inside closed doors of Arsenal, and then you see Amazon Prime, and then you see Manchester United, Manchester City, and you see top coaches. And I saw that with my dad and other coaches at the highest level. A lot of times in halftime, tactically, it's very few points that they give you. Very little information. It's more like, stay calm, stay organized. It's not a big deal. Like, compose, give your all.
It's like getting them in the right attitude, because they've already done all the work technically before then. So,
and it's a very mental sport. Like, I don't know if you remember in the World Cup, with Argentina won the last World Cup, when Saudi Arabia played them and they beat them. They show this speech of the French coach telling them.
There's a great speech too.
But
that coach is a great coach. It was
not a lot of tactical things. It was more like, okay, so all you're doing is watching them play, and you watch Messi, and you're respecting them too much. You're giving them too much space. You're doing that. You need to step up. You need to do this, because you have already worked. that's the thing. Like, I feel like coaches have like 30% influence on the team. The rest is the players. I 100% believe that a coach is great because of the players that they have. Like, I'm not, because you can only squeeze so much of a player. And that's all you can do.
And if they don't want to,
or if they can't, if all they can give you is their 6, and you know, 60% is their 100%, but compared to other players, that's only like 60 or 50%, you cannot bring that out anymore. Because especially in college, that development, you get them when they're 18, 19, all those years, like, you're not going to get that in preseason. You're not going to improve that much. You can improve, obviously, but it's not going to be
that huge of a leap.
Because if it was that easy, everybody will be Messi, everybody will be Cristiano Ronaldo, everybody will be top. But it's not that easy.
That type of philosophy works well for you at SCU and in high school.
I try to be the same. I try to approach everything the same. So the way that I practice high school is the way that I practice at SCU, is the way that I saw my dad practice at professional level. You just adjust little things, and your expectations have to be different too. Like, I cannot have the same expectations in college with my high school team and a girl that has never played soccer. I cannot be expecting and be as intense against, you know, with her, that somebody that is coming from a national team level playing in college now. Like, my expectations are going to be higher.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to adjust those levels. And I feel like sometimes maybe some coaches, when they go back to club, they are ECNL, and then they go and coach somewhere else, and they get frustrated because it's so easy to, like...
It's different levels.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And some people cannot make that transition in their head, and they expect more. And it happens in basketball, and it happens in all the sports. Like, they expect a lot more, and it's not like that. Like, high school is completely different than college. And college in Oklahoma is completely different than college in North Carolina or D1. Or it's just different expectations. Like, you have your standards, but the expectations, you have to adjust them. And obviously try to push them and help them and give them the tools to excel. But also it's like, you just can't.
Yeah, you got to be realistic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
realistic expectations is very important.
Yeah. Are you still recruiting for this upcoming year?
Yeah, I'm talking to 3 girls right now that we're trying to work it out. But after that, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, the team is pretty much locked in.
We're pretty much locked in, yeah.
And you know what to expect this year, somewhat. You never know what to expect, right?
Well, yeah, like I said, like, your standards are going to be, you know, always like, give your best effort, work hard. This season, I want to focus a lot more tactically with the team, spend more time tactically with them. Because, like I said, we had a young team, and now with the combination of girls that are coming in, like, I'm really excited. Like, I think we have, again, a lot of talent coming in. I think we can do a lot of great things, but ultimately it's going to be if they believe they can do it, and if you just work for it. That's because to me it's very simple. Is everybody starts the same in preseason. Like, everything that you did last year, I have Alzheimer. Like, I don't remember. But then if this girl comes in, let's say I have a girl that has been with me 4 years, and it has started every game, and is going to be a senior. And this freshman comes in, and she's at the same level as her, technically and tactically. Well, now comes in the experience. And obviously the one that has 4 years has more experience. She already knows the conference. She already, you know, but if they were the same level, or this freshman incoming in is more fit, and technically and tactically she's a little bit ahead of the other one, then the experience doesn't, you know, I don't see the experience. Yeah. I see like, well, this girl is more prepared. She's ready. She's hungry. Well, this girl starts, you know, and also the chemistry with the players, with her teammates. So like, what is that chemistry happening, you know? And those are the things that as a coach you see, But then sometimes the players don't understand, as obviously some parents as well.
Yeah.
Because my daughter has been in that program for 4 years, has given everything, and when they say those things at any level, what I know is that so it's not about the team, it's about your daughter,
or it's about you.
Or it's about you. So that's the thing. That's the culture that I'm trying to make on the team. That it's the team. Like, it's not about me as a coach. It's not about my assistant, and it's not about, it's about the team. Everybody is going to have a role. Are you going to accept that role? My dad always said, you're going to find the true character of a player, you're going to find it when he's on the bench. That's when you're going to find out. Mm-hmm. Like, was it all about themselves?
Or is it about the team?
Exactly. And it's very true. He always also said that the best teacher is the bench. Because you can talk to a player, you can show them, and they don't understand, well, put them on the bench and bring somebody that will do what you are asking for them or that they can do. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's tough to hear because not only am I watching you while you're on the field, I'm also watching you while you're on the bench.
Yeah.
I'm watching how you're acting,
100%.
how you're reacting, and more so how you're spreading your feelings to the team, because it's contagious.
Exactly.
That's negative energy that we don't need, and that's not helpful.
And unfortunately, on the female side, the psych is very important.
Psych.
Like
you mentioned that last time.
Yeah, how you feel, how all those things are very important. Mm-hmm. If everybody's pumped, if everybody's positive, you can accomplish way more. Like I said, in high school, we had 2 subs.
But the psych?
And it was amazing. Mm-hmm. Everybody was for everybody, right?
Die for each other.
We all win, we all lose. It was not like, but I scored this goal. But no, everybody. And it was very funny because we'll come out on the field, and then we'll see the other school come out, and to me, it looked like we were going to play against a Roman Empire. I saw like so many girls coming out.
2 teams.
And we had
just 13 players.
13 girls.
But I've played in a team that has 13 players, 11 players, and it nurtures a type of grit that unfortunately, it's hard to build with 36 players, 20 players.
And that's one of the things that the never say die mentality that high school team has, I wish all the teams that I coach can have. But I understood that it was not me, because I was coaching them the same way that I coach in high school, that I coach in college. It was their decision to be like, we want this, we're going to work hard for it, we're going to do it. So if the college team that I coach or any other team that I coach, if they lock in like that, if they can have success.
Which they can do. They've done it before.
100%. Like I said, I believe that our team has a lot of quality in college, a lot of quality. But we always lack that final step. That can be believing, can be accountability.
Could be sacrificing for your teammate.
Putting them first, having that.
And those are the things, like you say, some people don't see it. So not getting those results must be frustrating because, hey, we're good. We have the team. But you're thinking to yourself, just a little bit.
It's one, and I feel like I've been there 5 years now at SCU. And we're so close to break that. Like, I can see it. My assistant now that has been with me 2 years, she can see it. Will can see it, but I don't know. It's that barrier that is like.
If it was easy, everyone could do
exactly.
it. You said. I feel like for the men at MacU, that switch happened, and then they kept it, and we'll see what they're gonna do this year.
Yeah.
Are there any teams you're looking forward to playing this year? All of them. Todos.
Yeah. MacU is very special.
UCO probably, Oklahoma City, OCU special too.
OCU, yeah. I mean, I feel like John Brown. Like, all our conference is very tough on the women's side. It's very tough, very competitive. We always have teams that are ranked nationally in the NAIA or in the NCCAA. So for me, it's like every game is like a final. And I'm telling you, if I could, but again, I cannot want it more than that. And sometimes
tough.
I feel like me and my assistant, Ashlyn, we're always like, we can do it. And then one of the girls is like, I don't know if we can do it.
When I'm potencia, just to be like, come on, like, if I could just take me out and just give you a little bit.
We'll have a bigger roster this year in SCU because I feel like also it's very important that if we have somebody that is not locked in, and in that moment it's like, I don't believe this, or I don't, this is not fair, or then we can, it's easier to just like set her aside and keep going. Like I'd rather be 13 strong than 25 weak. And again, this happened to me in 2019 at SCU. We had a very small roster and we had a lot of success. The most success that we had in that program ever. And then I kind of forgot about that, but this high school season, it kind of reminded me, oh, wait a minute, like we don't have much, but everybody that is here wants to be here. That is key. You want to be there, you want to put in the work, you're locked in, and then you see the results. A little decision from a ref took us from being in the final again back to back, but still semifinals. It's not bad in a class higher.
In the first year,
I feel like it's not bad with those numbers. So that's what I'm hoping my SCU team is. It's like they're gonna come in, they're gonna be locked in, and they're gonna be like, yeah, we're going. And if somebody's not going with us, hey, that's okay.
I will leave you.
Yeah, it's fine. Because, you don't want a player that you're going to go play some team and in the bus she's thinking, what are we doing? We're going to lose. Like, you don't need those players. And unfortunately, sometimes that happens. I'm not saying I have them, but...
No, sometimes the off days, mentality is just not right. Like we said, people are dealing with a lot more nowadays, so it's just...
So, that's my hope that we can do that.
Are you do you do any soccer research while you're traveling?
Like what
you're going to Japan. Are you going to see any soccer?
No.
Stadiums?
No. This is going to be 100%
family only, huh?
Family. Yeah.
Good.
I do that when I go to Mexico. When I go to Mexico, I contact my friends and I ask them, like, can I come watch some of your training? And I will do that.
I did notice when you went to Monterrey last time, that's what you were doing. And I was like, oh, this guy's not coming back.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like I said actually, Roberto Medina is coaching now in Atlas, the women's side, and he's rebuilding that program because they had success, and then the coach left that was there before, and then they said, we're going to try to just get girls from Atlas. We're not going to buy, we don't have much money, so you need to develop them. So he got interested in that project. He started, and then he'll bring one or two internationals and things, but not like Tigres or America or all those teams. So it's a very different project, and he did invited me to be his assistant. It was tempting, but I was never I was more flattered than like really thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it, because like what I said, I feel like I still need to be at SCU. I feel like God still wants me to be there. So far, I'm really happy there. Like, they treat me really good. I like my team, like I said. So
yeah, there's nothing like being at a place where you're wanted as opposed to being at a place that doesn't celebrate you.
No, but, it's always this. I mean, as a coach, this. You're going to have 11 players that they like you. And then you're going to have 3 or 4 that kind of like you, okay. And then you have the other ones that don't play that much. They don't like you that much.
That's tough. I had a little taste of that when I coached. And nothing similar. Elementary school.
No,
we had a decent elementary school team. We made it to the playoffs. You got to play the good people, and then once you start winning, all right, we'll put a few in. And I did that. We were up 3-1. I was like, all right, entrenle. 2-3, 5 minutes in, I was like, damn, no, miento. It was 3-0, 2, boom, boom. And I was like, come on now. And what made me feel okay with it was we ended up winning all city. And I was like, all right, they're going to remember the championship more than the time they didn't play. And that's kind of how I wrestled with it. But, man, it's tough.
It's tough.
And then you're in the United States where people pay mucho dinero para nomás tener el niño sentado en la banca.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
And the thing is, it's a different level also, like in high school and in college. In high school, you have more interaction with parents, right? Rightly so. That in college. In college,
non-existent.
No. Like, I don't need parents to give me their opinion and be in a practice. Or we're gonna have a scrimmage, and the parents show up, and we're inner squad. It's like, I mean, it's fine, but I'm like, It's their time to be independent, the kids, you know. So, but anyways, like interaction in high school. So my 2 years at OCS, I always have a parent meeting. And at the beginning of the meeting, I ask them, like, what do you guys want? Let's be on the same page. You guys want...
That's different than college.
Yeah, that's different than college. Because in college, it's like, what does my school wants and what do I want, right? So here is like, what do you guys want? And my first year, they were very clear. They're like, we want a shot at the state championship. I think we have the numbers. I think we have this. And I said, okay, I cannot promise you the state championship, but I can promise you that I'm going to work hard to be in the finals. And I mean...
Y dicho hecho.
Yeah, like God put everything that we went to the finals. And then because I told him, I said, in the final, anything can happen. A bad call, a bad day, and dicho y hecho. In the final, a handball that the ref called and wasn't really a handball, and you're going to be like, ah. So we were 0-0 with 17 minutes left to play. Handball, PK, that opened up everything.
Changed it.
Yeah, changed the mood, changed everything. Okay. And then my second year, when we knew the numbers, I asked them again, what do you guys want? And they said, we just want to be competitive. We just want the girls that work hard. And okay.
Now, what do you say to that? All right,
that's
what you
great.
want.
And now we're going to work. We're going to, you know, my main goal was that nobody else gets hurt in this season. And we did it. We went in, we were very fit because I have 2 subs, but mostly I sub one person, because the other one had no experience. So one sub for 11 players. And we did pretty good. We were toe-to-toe to every team. We competed. We were close. And the semifinal that we lost against Uluga, we lost it 3-2. So we were there. Anywhere. So, and it was a very exciting game. And it's one of those things, again, one call that you... But that's soccer. It's going to be soccer, but we're there. So, first year, what do you guys want? We want to do this. And I forgot to say, when they say that, we want a shot at it, well, you know and you understand.
This is what it's going to tell
that
us.
This is what it's going to take. Like, I'm going to play the ones that I think are going to be better for the team. I'm not going to play, you know, Susie because she's friends with Mary and this and that. No, it's going to be, and it's going to be all business, and we're going to be working hard. And I know maybe some of those girls didn't have that much fun at times. I understand that. But that's what it takes. That's part of it. At the end of the day, they got a medal.
Yeah.
So.
Was it worth it? I think so.
Exactly. That's up to them. It was for me, but.
Do you foresee yourself ever going to coach, help coach in Mexico? If another opportunity like that presents itself?
I really would like to. I really would like to, like, expand my horizons.
Challenge
right now,
yourself.
I'm taking the B license in the CONMEBOL, which is the South American, kind of like the UEFA, but in South America and in Mexico. And I'm taking the B license, and then it's the A in Pro. So it will take me like a year and a half to do that. I have put it off very long because I've been so busy that it's hard. And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Because it is different. Like, we do it we meet on Zoom every Tuesday and Thursdays, and then one Monday every 2 weeks.
Wow. It's a lot of
time. It's a lot of time. And it's at night because they are in Argentina. So it's like at 8 p.m. So, you know, it's and a lot of homework, a lot of reading, plus everything that I'm doing. And
is it just going over philosophies, tactics, practices?
Yeah, and like fitness things and periodization and, you know, nutrition and psychology and all of these things that I'm like, oh, I mean, that's great, but it's a lot of work.
And you can choose multiple places to get licensed with. Why go with
well, that one, because it's, like I said, it's almost like on par with the UEFA. So it's CONMEBOL, and also because it's online, and it helps me because I won't be able to afford to go to Argentina like every month. And, you know, and I've heard like really good things about it. So, and it will be valid to be coaching pro in Mexico, in Central America, in South America. So, you know, it opens more doors like that.
And you don't get those type of doors with the U.S. licensing? No? It's just here?
Unfortunately, that's for the U.S. Like, if you go somewhere else, they'll say, no, you need to get those
credentials aren't valid here, sir. Oh, wow.
And it's and the other one, and the most important one, is that the CONMEBOL is way cheaper.
Mm.
Way cheaper than
Not
making
surprised.
my B license here in America.
I'm not surprised.
And so it's more time, it's more learning. The network that connects you is bigger, and it's cheaper. So it was like a no-brainer.
What do you think about professional women's soccer here as opposed to Liga MX Femenil? Because I know in Mexico they're broadcasting it more. They're putting more resources behind the women's game. Where do you think it's at compared to here?
It's hard to tell because I cannot make a judgment if I'm not in it, right? Only what I see. And what I see is, some games in Mexico, they're very crowded and a lot of people goes, but then I don't know how much the tickets cost and all these things. I don't know. But I know that they're investing a lot in it. But I know still the US level is very good, but I don't know for how long. Because other leagues in the world, not just Mexico, they're catching up. So I don't know how long that's going to be.
Yeah, if there's one thing the U.S. does seem to be doing well is the women's soccer. But everyone is catching up. They're not winning the World Cups as easily as they used to anymore, right?
And then the leagues also is going to be, I think there's going to be like a international cup against Mexico and the U.S., like clubs. So that's going to bring more competitiveness to that. But, again, it's hard to tell because Mexico, the male league was really good for many years. And right now, I don't know if it's that great compared to the MLS.
It's like the NBA. The best players are foreigners now. So
Exactly. In Mexico, they opened the door for that. And, I mean, that's great. But then you go to the World Cup and then you don't have players.
Yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot there, aren't you? You probably know Champions League finals today. When this comes out, the game will have already been played. And we're going to know the results. But what are your predictions?
Oh, man. Yes, you're asking me hard questions. Finals are so...
Like you said, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. I think on that mentality works, it's a lot more. And Real Madrid is in it. And they have that DNA that
mentality.
That mentality is in their DNA. Like you go there, but that's the funny thing. I've heard Hugo Sanchez, which played for Real Madrid, and you hear all the players say that when they get to that team, it's almost like a click in their brain. It changes because everybody is on the same page of we can win, and we can win, and we can win.
It takes a certain type of player, like you said. It takes that mentality is a certain type of player, and then you get them all in one dressing room.
But I feel also sometimes that player might not have that mentality per se. But once they're in that environment, it gets contagious. It's like negative, like you said. You get into a negative environment on a team, and you might be a great player, and then you go down because everybody's negative, is complaining and whining, and so it becomes But if you go in and everybody's lucky and everybody wants to win,
everybody's working harder, everybody's doing extra,
So it's oh man, I gotta put my A game every single time. That's contagious too. And that's Real Madrid again is the perfect example that is not the coach, but is that culture that they have. And the culture in Real Madrid it has been for decades and decades. That's why they have so many Champions Leagues. Name it Carlo Ancelotti, Mourinho, whoever coach, they have success. Because they have the money to bring those players, and then they have that mentality.
What do you think about Ancelotti?
That's a great coach. Have you ever read his book?
No, I haven't.
It's all about, first is the person. He's a coach, and he's very clear on that. He said, when I put you on the bench, don't be mad at Carlo. Be mad at the coach. Because I'm just a guy. I'm a regular guy that happens to coach soccer. Just like you're a regular guy that happens to play football. So it's two different things. And I feel like that's the problem. Sometimes they cannot, players cannot separate that.
That'd be like me, I'm your player. It's like, hey, don't be mad at Ricardo. Be mad at the soccer player because he made the mistake.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to do the best I can do.
Exactly.
Yeah, because, I mean, you can have the best players in the world, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win everything.
Exactly. And I mean, look at Manchester City. Like, they have one of the best coaches in the world. They have some of the top players in the world, and they cannot win that Champions League consistently. Why? Because it's football. A lot of things can happen in that moment.
Anything can happen in the Champions League.
Anything can happen. So, a Champions League final, I don't know. I just hope that it's entertaining, that it's fun to watch, that it's exciting, and then whoever wins.
If you had to give it to somebody?
I think Real Madrid.
Real Madrid. That's hard to go against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see Dortmund win it.
Yeah,
but
that'll be tough.
But
that DNA,
winning DNA.
Is winning games.
Have you been to Spain?
No.
No has visitado el Bernabéu.
Mm-mm.
Yet.
Not yet.
No,
I was waiting until they remodel it and they make it super nice so I can.
Yeah, maybe for the next World Cup.
Maybe.
I think I heard Spain, Portugal, Morocco. Perhaps.
They're trying.
They're trying.
There's a funny combination there.
Yeah, it is. Your college season coming up here. It's short. Your 6th year? 5th year?
5th year.
Fifth year. Best year, maybe?
I hope so.
You hope so?
Yeah. I think every year we have accomplished things. And, people might disagree, but like I said, to me, it's not about numbers. I mean, obviously you want to win. But it's about how you create relationship with the players. You're laying foundation. You helping them improve not only on the soccer side but on the personal side. We are in a Christian school, so we have a certain calling. And I like to have a great relationship with my players. And I'm open for everybody to come and talk to me. But sometimes, like, if a player doesn't want to come and talk, I mean, that's fine too.
Don't be mad at Juan.
Don't be
mad at Coach Juan.
Yeah, exactly. I have to deal with 26 girls, 27 girls. I can only deal with one at a time. And if somebody comes, and that's the thing, like, normally it's internationals that they find that connection with me easier, because we have one thing in common, which is we are internationals. We were not born here and raised here, and so we see things differently. So we connect like that. But that doesn't mean that player is going to be my favorite because she's international. It doesn't work like that with coaches, I believe, or at least with me. It's like, you are a soccer player that we need at this moment, you play. And I don't play you because there's different circumstances sometimes that
are out of your control sometimes. Their situation just doesn't need that right now.
I need a more physical player, and you don't like to get into tackles, well, then I'm going to play the one that
it does.
Or technically this, or, heads the ball better, or do this, and, just it's a different thing.
A while ago, you brought up a national team player coming to SCU. How do you go about recruiting players like that?
Well, in this case with Guatemala, I started recruiting when I was in JUCO at NOC. So I got that connection through a mutual friend that I had with my dad, that his daughter was playing soccer. So he's from Honduras, but they were living in Guatemala. So he was telling me, like, this girl, is looking pretty promising, and kind of like a scout. And I started recruiting back then, which is 2017.
Damn.
And I could not bring that girl until like 2021. But that opened the door to start, like, looking at those girls. And then the other ones is just, with internationals, what I go with is a lot of recommendations, like from other coaches or other players, because you never know what you're gonna bring, and then they are really relying on you to help them, with a lot of things, because they don't have anybody else here.
You're the only person.
You're the only person, and that's another connection that sometimes some American players don't understand. Is that, like, loneliness?
Yeah, they don't go home for Christmas break. They don't have anywhere to go for spring break.
And it's tough, and that can affect you mentally in a level that you cannot understand.
Yeah.
And some of them, English is not their first language, and then they have to have classes, and then their brain is like and then, they expect to perform, they expect this. So there's a lot of things that I think empathy as a teammate is very important.
Yeah.
And the team that we have right now, this past 2 years, is very empathetic. Like, that's another thing that I love. Like, they're very embrace the players that come in. They try to really help them, and they're really good teammates. And, that's very important, but that has to be built.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that before. It was like you're on your own.
That's terrible. That's terrible because I've had foreign players, and if the team's not there, they are literally by themselves, and it's not fun.
No, it's not fun, and especially like when they don't have money. Because in professional level, you have money. You can be like, okay, I'm by myself, but I'm in a $3 million house
in the middle of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
No se puede.
But here it's tough.
No se puede. Dang. You have a bucket full of jerseys.
So many jerseys. It's a
Do you want to bring some out and
crazy collection.
Tell us a few stories?
Yeah, I can.
A ver, deja traértelo.
Yeah. I don't even know how many I have there. And they're all like, they were given to me by the players.
These are jerseys given to you by players.
Yeah, sometimes when I play against, sometimes, or like my dad coach, and then the player gave them to me. Like, this is very special because this was my dad's.
This is your dad's shirt?
He played with this team, San Luis, and it still has mud because this is the last game that they play, and they won the promotion with this
San
jersey.
Luis in Mexico?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So they were in second division, and my dad scored the goal to go to promotion and go first division, and this is that jersey, number 9.
El 9.
Yeah, but if you see the quality, oh my gosh.
Can you imagine playing this?
It's so thick.
It rains, and this thing is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So that this is I like that because, and this is the only jersey that I have of my dad.
Oh, wow.
While he played. They would just like give him, but he kept this one because I guess it was special. So
yeah, of course.
It still has, I didn't wash it. We never washed it, so still.
That's nice.
Nasty, but
I was like, ¿sería uno de los Tigres?
I have here Tigres. Yes.
You showed me this one a while
this
ago.
One is, well, this one obviously is big time. It's Real Madrid. Again, this was Hugo Sanchez jersey.
Hugo Sanchez wore this jersey?
Yes.
Wow.
Probably the best Mexican player
He does not get the respect he deserves.
No.
He hands down, no questions asked, is the best Mexico player ever scored. I don't think people understand that he. ¿Cuántos pichichis does he have?
5.
5 pichichis, but in one of those pichichis, no one's ever done this. He has scored the most goals with the least amount of touches.
One touch. A one-touch finish.
Every time.
It was like 30-something goals that he scored in one-touch finish.
I don't think that's ever going to get done before.
That's crazy.
He's a predator. And the Predator wore this jersey. That's crazy.
Yep. Number 9. Before they will do the last names and stuff on the back.
Dang.
Yeah. And again, thick.
Thick.
Not very.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What else do you have? River?
That one is also special. Look, there you go. Tigres.
Ahí está.
This was worn by Luis Hernandez, El Matador.
Yes.
There you go.
A legend.
Yeah.
Dang.
Number 15.
¿Son los patrocinadores?
All of them.
Estilo México?
Yeah.
All the sponsors.
Bimbo, Pepsi, Cementos Monterrey, Cemex.
Wow.
Yeah. This is cool.
How many do you think are in here?
Oh, man, I don't know. A lot. I haven't even counted them.
Do you go through these every now and again?
No. Actually, I took them out from the attic because I thought I'm going to frame some of them to put in my office.
You should.
Have a new office at SCU. But then I thought, oh my gosh, no, I cannot fit.
How do you pick?
I don't know. That's the
Every
thing.
one of these has a story behind them.
Like this is my favorite player ever, from Uruguay, but he played for River Plate. Enzo Francescoli. He's my favorite. My son's, my younger son, his name is Enzo, because of him.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Does he know that?
Yes. And it's Enzo Francescoli. Great.
How did you get this?
This one, I got it because I went with my dad to Argentina to scout players, and the promoter that we met there, he knew Enzo.
Oh, wow.
And then I told him, I said, oh man, Enzo is the greatest for me, whatever. And we were going to meet him, but, they're so busy. And back then, this was 98, so he was still playing.
Oh, wow.
So he just said, no, I'll get you a shirt, and then he'll sign it. And so he signed it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I see that this one back here is also signed as well.
Yeah, this was signed. This is from a lower division in Mexico called Curtidores, I believe. Yeah, so my dad played in this team when I was a little kid. It's in Guanajuato, in León, Guanajuato. And when my dad was battling cancer, his cancer, they did like a like they honor him on the stadium, and all the players sign the jerseys and all that, and then they send it to us in Monterrey. So
Carlos gave me a story last week of his dad who played in Guanajuato as well.
Oh yeah, Carlos is from Guanajuato.
Yeah, and he had said that his dad got to meet Pelé. El portero que jugó 5 mundiales, brought him in during the 86 World Cup.
Yeah.
And said, hey, check this team out. And he got to meet Pelé. Yeah. This is crazy.
So this is the...
Ánimo.
Yeah, that's when... Because he had his cancer, so yeah.
Nice.
Do you remember the player Alberto Coyote?
No.
No? Okay. Well, he was coaching that team, I guess. But he played for the national team in Mexico. And at that time, he was the head coach in this team.
Nice. What other shirts do you have in here? Let's bring out one more.
One more? Oh, man.
No, pues, ¿cuál era?
Well, this was also special because I got the chance to get the Mexican national team to come up when I was coaching at NOC.
Wow, this is a beautiful shirt.
And I knew the coach. So, was actually Roberto Medina from Atlas, but he was coaching the national team, and he connected me with the under-20 national team, and we got him to sign a contract to come and play with us, the JUCO, and RU and TU.
Wow.
And then they came, and then they gave me this jersey. The girls signed it and everything. Some of these girls are playing in Liga MX, in the women's team and in the main team right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Katy Martinez. Now she's one of the top scorers in the Mexican league in Mexico. That's her, and she's amazing. She's amazing. She plays for the main national team right now.
It's crazy how young they start the whole national team process. I mean, you of all people should know, right?
Yeah.
You were there with your dad. That's crazy.
Yes,
no, well, I
sir.
appreciate you bringing these and sharing a bit of those stories. I wish we had more time to go through all of them. Pero what is this? Croatia?
Tecos.
Ándale.
Your dad is
De Jalisco.
He likes
Ahí por la Unión de San Antonio.
This jersey was Joel Sanchez, El Tiburón Sanchez.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Dang. You should hang them up. I thought, since I've been asking for all these high school jerseys, I'm going to start asking for college jerseys, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to start my little Oklahoma soccer museum. Aquí en este edificio, I'm going to start hanging shirts. But this is great. I've seen a lot of jersey museums, and I'm like, we need more of those. Because these are all stories that are just going to get passed down. What are you going to do with all these?
I don't know.
Are you going to pass them down, or... Never thought of it, huh?
Never thought about it.
We'll get there when we get there then.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it then.
But like you can see, there's so many that I don't really know.
You have any expectations for Mexico in Copa America?
No.
No, none at all, huh?
I gave up on Mexico a long time ago.
I hear that more and more, and as the older I get, the more I feel like I might be going down that path. But I feel like we have to have faith, We have to believe that one day Mexico will win the World Cup.
Yeah, no.
That's too much. No? No? What happened to that mentality that players have to have to win?
The owners of the teams in Mexico and the owners of the national team, what they're looking for is money.
Yeah.
It's not the it's not for the fans.
No, it's not.
So that's why there's no faith, because all they want is they just want to
play in the U.S.
Have more money. They're not thinking, we need to invest and sacrifice and make these sacrifices. I don't need this paycheck. But instead, let's make that sacrifice so the national team can have a chance. So if you don't have that, how can I believe in them?
Is that not frustrating for people that coach in Mexico? For people that want to make the change and know that up top it's just...
corrupted and, 100%.
Yeah, that's a shame.
It is a shame. There's a lot of talent, but... as long as that doesn't change, and that started, I want to tell you, that started probably after 98.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. They start changing that a lot. So that's why you see what you see. There are coaches that they try hard to break that, but if you have the owners and the presidents and the federation pushing for another, it's like I said, we have to be on the same page. And in Mexico, we're not on the same page. The fans wants to be this, but the owners want this, and the president want this, and the players want this.
And the coaches want something else, and then there's cliques and networks and people you have to please, and if you don't please, then doors get shut. And
you need to follow. I'll send you on Instagram. It's in Spanish. It's a podcast by La Volpe.
Okay.
He has a podcast, and then he brings former players or current players and coaches, and they talk about a lot of things. And when they go over to Mexico, it's like a mess.
Why is La Volpe held so much higher than other coaches?
I think because he's very tactical, and
I've heard Pep take you know, notes from his La Volpe's Mexico team, 2 forwards, 2 center backs type of stuff.
Yeah, because he was very tactical, and he kind of was a before and after in Mexico.
Definitely a before and after
culture that it became. You know, he developed Rafa Marquez. He developed so many players that are now coaching and playing. That it was because of him. So he's a player's coach, but he's also a coach's coach.
Otro al estilo de Ancelotti, maybe?
Yeah, I think he's more like Menotti, Cesar Luis Menotti. So it's more methodical and like very, you know, tactical like that, organized and things like that. And he shares his knowledge, and he has his way. Or that's another thing with coaches. It's like, this is what I believe, and this is what we're gonna do, and I'm not gonna change that much. And more people think like, oh, you're so stubborn, but you have to be like, because if you're wishy-washy as a coach,
what are you gonna accomplish?
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you there. What do you think about Tuca?
He's a good coach.
Thoughts on Tuca Ferretti?
Well, he's retired now. He's on TV now.
Yeah.
He's a great coach.
I like him on TV though.
Yeah. He's funny.
He's a character. He's a character.
I had him as I don't know if I told you like in the last podcast, but I had him as a coach when I was in Pumas.
Did you?
I mean, he was on the first team, but he would call me up and do preseason or games.
Mention that.
It was crazy, man.
He seems like a presence. You know, like you could just feel his aura in the room.
He was so mean. You don't even understand.
I mean, I've seen the clips. I've seen the clips.
He was young. When I was playing, he was young.
Damn.
He was like 30 years old. So he has the energy of a crazy man.
That's crazy.
But off the field, great guy. And that's what you learn. Is that you're mad at Tuca, the coach, not Tuca,
the person.
The person.
I'm going to take that line right there. Don't be mad at me, the coach.
Yeah.
No, be mad at me, the coach,
yeah.
but not me, the person.
And that's Ancelotti. That's the way to.
Have you seen this new soccer, Kings League, People's League, 7v7? No te llama mucho la atención. No. You're very much traditionalist. Just keep it the same.
I feel like I agree. La Volpe said that I think that the one thing that can revolutionize soccer again and make it exciting is play with 10 players instead of 11.
10 instead of 11. Why?
Because the field will be bigger, and they will give you more time and space to play. Like right now, the fitness got so high that sometimes it's so frantic, and there's no time.
You can see that when you watch Champions League, when you watch Manchester City play, and they're just forced to.
So if you take out one player, then you play with 9 players on the field, and the goalkeeper, it changes everything. It has more space, and it will be, again, more technical. It will become more technical instead of more physical.
How would you line up your 10 players if at SCU they gave you 10v10? What kind of lineup formation do you run there?
I'll probably do 3-3-3.
3-3-3?
Yeah, 3 in the back. Yeah.
It's crazy to start wrapping your head around 10v10, because then you start thinking of spaces, battles. Well, if you got 3-3-3, 3-4-2 maybe.
3-4-2 probably will work.
4-3-1.
But definitely 3. I won't play with 4 in the back. Like that's the thing. Like again, you get more space, but there will be teams that will do that. Play with 4 in the back, so they don't. I feel like you need to propose. Like you need to attack. You need to go and try to make an exciting game, not just defend and
I think it's very entertaining. Kings League, People's League, professional 7v7, it puts more money in players' pockets. I think it's probably making those executives think of ways to make the 11v11 game more popular. I think a lot of like Cordero. He's trying to do the Kings League.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Spaniard kid.
Did you see him at SCU? Did you get?
Oh yeah.
Well,
He's gonna be my my goalkeeper assistant.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to
this
Patrick.
coming season. Yeah.
¿Y qué tal, Patrick? He seemed like a really nice guy.
He's a very nice guy. He's a great goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
He was very unfortunate with a lot of injuries. That was his problem. Yeah. But he's very likable, and this is gonna be a transition for him from being a player and now try to coach. It's a totally different.
Because he's really nice.
Thing. Yeah.
So like, how do you
also not go the opposite way where so I'm really nice, so now I need to be super mean or what, so it's gonna be like a
but with you there, I think it won't be that bad,
I hope so.
I
like him a lot. That's why I invited him.
Nice. It's gonna be interesting to find out. I think with you, it might be a good yin and yang, He might let you take care of be mad at Coach Castillo but not at Coach Cordero kind of thing. No, that's está bien. Well, I'm looking forward to the SCU year this year and what high school comes in next year. Yeah. It's always fun getting to see the coaches that I've had here just do great stuff too. And the last podcast that I had you on, I had a lot of compliments. A lot of people like your philosophy and the way that you tackle those teams. I feel like it's a little different from the other people we've had on here. So
maybe some people like it, maybe others don't like it.
Yeah, but if they don't, be mad at Coach Castillo, not the person. So
correct.
Nice. Do you have anything that you'd like to leave us with before you head out to
Japan? Just that being in the high school in the 4A level, it was so nice to see so many coaches and talk to them and interact and see how much they care to grow soccer in Oklahoma. And actually at Weatherford, one of the assistant coaches, shout out to Ariana Ramirez Nana, she was my player at NOC.
Oh wow!
And to see her and hear her talk about how exciting it is to coach and everything that she has accomplished, and at a moment when I met her and I recruited her, she was not at the best place mentally and emotionally maybe, and see her now grow so much is part of why I do it, what I do, and just how much she cares about the kids and to grow and to learn and it was like Clinton coach and I mean so many coaches that I met that it was so cool to see that there is good coaching in high school and there are coaches that really care, right? And they're investing their time because that's the other thing, like they don't do this for the money.
No one's getting paid in high school coaching.
So for the parents and the kids that are being coached, just be grateful that you have those coaches that care for you, that they care for your character and, the person first. And then also they're trying to develop the program. They're trying to develop, be competitive and grow Oklahoma in soccer, because I don't know how it was in the 80s. I can only imagine.
Non-existent, probably.
Or in the 90s, in the early 90s, in the early 2000s, like, how was it? I don't know. But what I know now is we have so many young, and it's a mixture of young and mature coaches that bring something good to the high school level, and that can help transition into the college level. So, like, shout out to them. Like, it's very noble of them, to do that.
It's like the new generation, the next generation of coaches.
So it's really cool.
Nice. Well, it all starts with the old coaches, right? Not the old coaches. Not the old coaches, but the previous generation should have been what I should have said. The generations that inspired you, the generations that inspired your father, and so on and so forth.
I always consider myself young coach here because I started late.
Yeah.
So I've been coaching. That's why I guess that's why I'm not burned out, because I'm 48, but I've been coaching since 2016.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been here in Oklahoma. So it hasn't been that much.
Yeah.
So so that's why I'm like,
I'm still young. You are still young.
Still young.
You're still going to the gym at 5 in the morning,
Yes, sir.
showing those young kids how to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to coach kids in college and they're just like, oh, I'm tired. I can't do this. Well, I woke up at 5 a.m. and if I can do it, you can do it. So.
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of stuff to pull from, all these experiences and stories. So it must make for a good experience to be coached by
And that's
Juan
what
de
it's all
Dios.
about. No, it's just like pass on what I've learned and try to pass it on to whoever wants to take it. Because that's the other thing is sometimes our profession is a very jealous profession. I
A
feel
lot of egos.
A
We
lot
said
of
that
ego,
word
like-
last podcast.
Mhm.
Egos.
people don't want to share. Thinking like, oh, you're gonna know my secrets, but everything has been invented, so you can share and you can if you can help somebody that needs help.
Why not?
Like, why not? Like, I feel like I try to do that, So I think that's the important with the players and with coaches. Like, and that was my experience at the high school level this year. It's just interact with the coaches and this and that and what works, what didn't work, and things like that. I think that will grow also the community.
Nice. Well, Juan de Dios Castillo, this has been another great podcast.
Oh, thank you.
I wish you
Appreciate it.
a good travel in Japan.
Yes.
One day I'm gonna go out to Japan.
Japan is really cool.
It is really cool. It's a different culture, and for me, I like those animes, those cartoons.
Oh yeah. Well, there's that.
It's
The land
probably-
of.
Yeah, that's the land. That's where it came from. So yeah, just have fun out there, man. Take pictures.
Thank you. I will.
Send me. Bring back take a picture of a Goku and be like, look. This is that what your son likes? Anime or why of all places Japan?
He likes anime and he likes the mentality of the Japanese warrior. Samurai, never give up. He
Honor.
likes to box. My youngest son likes to box.
Does he?
So it's very well. My dad's dad was a boxer.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's why he kind of has that in his blood. But he started boxing and he's pretty good at it. He's very dedicated. He loves all that stuff. And
Is he fighting amateur?
no,
or-
not yet. Not yet. But he wants to.
How old is
He's gonna go into freshman in college.
Oh,
He's
okay.
18.
Yeah.
So he's been doing it. He's very committed to that craft. It's a scary craft, but
How do you think you'll feel watching him step in a ring against somebody? That's different.
I have seen him spar, and yeah, it's.
Does he have it in him? Some people have the fight in them.
I think. Well, he does have that. What is it?
That
It's not-
dog.
yeah, that dog in him, and he has very heavy
Hands.
fists.
Yeah.
He can punch hard. Since he was a little kid, we'll
Uh-huh.
play around, and then he'll
He'll get you.
click me sometimes. And I was like, ooh. So, but it's up to him. Like what he wants
Yeah.
to do with that. Like
Talk about
I'm
different. from
I'm just
soccer.
excited that he likes a sport.
And he's dedicated.
And he's
himself.
dedicated. Like my oldest son, Ethan, he likes lift weights, like I mentioned in the podcast, and that's great. Like as long as they are active and they're doing things like that, to me that's super
Now,
cool.
what else could you ask for? 'Cause that, I think boxing. We say soccer teaches you a lot about life.
Oh
boxing.
man, boxing is like,
You don't play boxing.
no,
You don't play boxing.
no.
That's
But also like, that mentality of if you go up on a ring, you're not thinking I'm gonna lose, because if you're thinking like that, you're gonna
you're
die.
going to lose. You're going to die.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
die. So you always have to think, I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna win. And that's the mentality that I'm trying my players to have. Like we have to go with the mentality that we're gonna win.
Every time.
And then if something happens, well, if the other team is better than us, we'll clap, great job. And if something happens, well, we'll just prepare and get better. And then that's the way it is. That's life. Like you can't, I don't understand.
You
that
can't. That's the hardest
mentality.
thing to teach.
Yeah.
You can teach someone to pass, to give a through ball, tres dedos.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you teach someone the grit to not want to give up? To look at someone bigger and say, "Nah, I'm gonna find a way."
I feel like that you have to have that,
Mm.
and then maybe you can help it get stronger
Mm-hmm.
and develop it. But that's in you. That's from your parents, from the family, from your background, from the community.
That's why low income people with nothing usually tend to do the most, because they're the hungriest.
Exactly. That's why internationals, when they come here, I like it. The interaction with the Americans, because
Yeah.
they can share that, and they can see like, no, we have it great here.
I compare that to, and it has nothing to do with soccer, but every time I would go to Mexico and I would see the situation that some kids are in, and then I'd reflect that on me and say, I could have been here,
Mm-hmm.
but one person decided to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that would always have me coming back with such gratitude and, with my eyes open and gratefulness. But I can see why a foreigner would come here and be like, it's not that bad.
And man, it's gonna be like a commercial here, but I just want to say, like, I've lived this. Like, I moved up here when I was an adult, 34, 35 years old. I chose to be an American. Like, that gave me that opportunity. Like, America gave me that opportunity. I was not born here, but America adopted me, and I'm a citizen. And I still believe that this country is a great country.
It is.
It's an amazing country. It has amazing opportunities. Does it has issues? Well, every country in the world. But I feel like we are. I always tell my wife that unfortunately we're living in a society where this generation is kind of like delusional. We're in a delusional
I think we've
generation
had it
right now.
What do they say? Like, one generation walked so you can run, so you can fly, and then eventually it all goes back again. It all, because hard times bring hard men.
Yep.
Soft times, brings a soft generation.
And then that creates hard times.
And it's just rinse and repeat.
And I feel like we're so delusional right now that everything is wrong, that everything is bad, that everything, and it's not our fault. True,
it's not our fault.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and everybody, they want to pin everything on everybody, and everybody's traumatic, and everybody has trauma. Like, I don't understand. Like, sometimes it's hard to be empathetic with somebody that is telling me how hard their life is, and I'm thinking, man, like, I didn't even have AC, and it was 110 degrees outside, and we were sweating all day, and I played on dirt with like nails and rocks and
barefoot,
not barefoot,
not barefoot, but damn near close, like.
But then the new generation will be like, well, yeah, but you're always saying this. So I try to find the
right way to
the empathetic side of it, but then at times it's hard because they're complaining, but they're recording in their new iPhone in their car with the AC going, and they're whining about they don't have money, and I'm like, oh man. Like, go somewhere else in the world, and you will see that what struggle is. You know what I mean? But it's hard to, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a conversation that is always like, I'm just saying my experience, America is great. It's been great. I've been blessed. Every opportunity that I have, and is it racism and this and that? Well, yeah, I mean, everywhere. Man. In Mexico, is racism.
Even worse in Mexico, People are like, really? And I'm like, just watch the novelas. That's all I got to tell you.
Well, that, and then Mexicans don't like the Central Americans, and they, look them down, and all these things, and it's everywhere. Yeah. Politicians are corrupt, and women in some places they don't have rights, and all these things that is like it's worse. Yeah. Believe me. And I've traveled, and I have friends from all over the world. America's still pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. A lot of opportunities, man. A lot of great people. Oklahoma is a little bit boring for some people. For me, it's so calm. It's so chill.
I think there's
people are respectful. People are so nice.
I think Oklahoma's great because we are 10 years behind California.
Wow, 10 I think years more than behind. 10 years.
And so I've always said that if you pick up trends that happen somewhere else and bring them to Oklahoma, you're innovative, you're creative, you're new. And that's the opportunity that we have here compared to other places, So.
And that's the thing, like with Texas is very similar, but then a lot of people from California are moving into Texas. Like, they're fleeing those states that are not being great right now. And I'm thinking, well, hopefully they don't want to start.
Hopefully they don't California or Texas. Yeah.
And then that's why you're leaving, because you didn't like that. Why would you bring it here? And that's what I feel like. Me as a Mexican coming to America, I need to adapt. And if I decide to be an American citizen, I need to become an American citizen. I cannot want the whole country to adapt to me. Well, I'm Mexican, so this is what I do. Like, it doesn't work like that. Just like an American going to Mexico, it's not going to be like, well, I'm American, and you all have to adapt. Like, Mexicans will be like, you're crazy, man.
Well, you say that, but luego le bajan el picante a las salsas, just,
But that's the thing, is like, you have to adapt to where you are.
Yeah.
And you, like, I have to speak the language. I have to, all of these things. Like, you can't just, you still have your roots, but you have to acknowledge that now you are American.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
to me, that makes sense. When my wife was in Mexico, because we got married and she moved to Mexico 10 years. And for 10 years, she had to adapt to the Mexican culture. And at the first, I mean, I tell you, the first 2 years, man, it was hard for her because everything is so laid back, so chill, and she was so organized and square, and everything was like, go, and then it's like, oh, everything's gonna work out. Mm-hmm. And now, she is the person that she is because of that experience too. Now when people are freaking out here and she's coaching, it's like, it's okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. Yeah. But this is a last minute thing, and it's going to work out. And that's what Mexicans have. Like, Mexicans have chill.
Mexican time.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Well, I was always
on time.
My parents taught me that. And then I was a dentist, so I have to have my clinic like this, right? Yeah. But chill, yes. Like, something happens last second, hey, it's going to work out. We can figure it out. It's not going to be a big deal. It can be a lot worse. That's what I always told my wife. It's like, oh, this happened and this happened. But it could be a lot worse.
It could.
So we're good. We're still good.
Yeah.
I mean, we had stories of running into drug cartels in Mexico when we lived there with the kids little, and situations of life and death stuff, and real things. And money being really tight where we did not have money, even though my dad was doing really good in his profession, but we wanted to kind of like build ourselves up, and struggle and not ask until it was like, oh my gosh, like we need, this for the medicine of my son or whatever, but try to be ourselves and just without struggle, there's no growth. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm coming from. So I come here and I want my girls to have the same thing. And one way to struggle is on the field. I will put you in a situation where you struggle and let me see how you come out of there, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not going to blow the whistle and they're going to get mad. That was a handball. Keep playing. There's no whistle, keep playing.
Dale.
Like little things. But it's soccer. It's not even, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even life,
it's not
like
that
real
serious.
life. Yeah.
It's not life or death.
But
it can be.
But it can be for some people. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, America's still so nice, man.
Yeah.
So nice. And then I see it going in a road that I don't like. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know.
I think a lot of places are like that. Not just here.
It's not. Right now I don't know if you saw it. We're talking about something else now. But in Germany, this guy is stabbing people. And what the heck is going on?
Politicians dying in Mexico. There's
23 politicians in this last.
Have you been keeping up with
4
politics?
Years. Well, I have friends that from high school and all that, and then they send sometimes some articles and they make comments. And the last one that it was happened like 2 days ago, I think, and he got shot.
That's crazy. My wife's family is from Morelia, so I hear all about it.
Was that in Morelia?
I don't know. It might have been, but I know that a lot of them have happened.
And I was like, oh, what happened? And then they sent the article. Well, it's been 23, and I was like, what?
That's some chingo. 23
politicians, and nobody's saying anything?
No.
And then here we're like, but.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's unfortunate. But I guess we might have our first female president. We'll see.
In Mexico?
Maybe.
Claudia.
Or.
I think she's going to win.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was talking to my mother-in-law about it, and I was like, what do you think? And it's just. It's hard. It's hard. I see it in my mother-in-law. I see it from the people that have come from over there, and it sucks to see. But like you said, what can we do?
No, and then I've seen only one debate, and I think her name is Claudia, and then Xochitl is the other one, right?
Galvez, and then the guy.
And then the guy.
Yeah, nobody's talking about the guy. No. And then the debates are terrible to watch too.
Yeah. But what I've noticed with Claudia, she's well prepared.
Yeah.
She's always well prepared. She's always calm. She gives the answers that she needs to give. And Xochitl, I don't know. I saw her and I was like, oh my gosh, that's the best that they could pick.
Yeah, she's in a losing position.
So I don't know. It's gonna be
politics, right?
But yeah, the first female.
We'll see.
They beat the U.S.
They did it first in the U.S. Yeah,
that's crazy.
I don't even want to talk about the politics here, but let's bring it back to soccer. Well, what could we talk about? I mean, we got the Copa America coming. We have the Euros coming. We have the Champions League we already talked about. I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah. I don't like that the World Cup, made more teams.
No,
because the quality is not it's not gonna be great.
That's what my friend Paulo said. Yeah. If you don't make the 32, that's a sign that you need to change something. Yeah. And for us to expand it,
and that's again we're becoming
money.
Like the everybody gets a medal type of thing. Everybody's gonna go to the World Cup. It's not gonna be very competitive until you get into the last 16.
It's gonna be the same teams as always.
So why make it bigger to make more money?
Because
those
you have to have the biggest economies in the world aren't participating. Mm-hmm. India, China. Mm-hmm. So they're having to find ways to
include them.
Yeah. More games, more money, more participation. There's going to be, 100 and something games in this World Cup coming up?
It's going to be insane. No, I don't like that. But again, Copa America bringing it to the U.S. and things like that, I don't like that either.
No?
No.
And bring back Libertadores for Mexico.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be great.
That would be fantastic. But bring back Mexico to play in Mexico.
Yeah, right?
Like all the friendlies and all the stuff. Create that connection with the Mexican fans. Mm-hmm. And yeah, have one or two here, but playing against the U.S. or, but all the other teams. And I feel it's more important, like if Mexico will go to Europe and play friendlies there.
Yeah.
That will bring the competition. That will create a different DNA.
I think so too.
Than always play in the U.S., always play in the U.S., always play. And with the Mexican fans that are Mexican Americans, I mean, I'm sorry, but they'll fill up the stadium and they'll be happy, and they'll, as long as they have their beer and their nacho, they're gonna be happy. And then the team is crap and they boo for 5 seconds. Next game, packed.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that. That doesn't grow nothing.
Man, I wish we would be able to leave the podcast on a good note, but we went pretty dark here towards the end.
Towards the end, it was like,
yeah, but it's okay.
Well, Oklahoma's growing soccer-wise, and that's great.
Yeah,
that's what I
great.
Can say.
And then we're gonna have another good high school season next year, and SCU district champs maybe. That's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, top 3.
Top 3
in the conference. Yeah, that's what.
Who do you think will be the other top 2?
Well, it's always John Brown. They're really good.
Always John Brown.
Very good program.
And that last one is going to be up in the air.
and then I feel like, I mean, USAO is a great program. MACU has been good, has been doing good things. I mean, there's a bunch of.
It's competition.
There's a lot of competition. So top 3 is always good. So we'll see.
Top 3. Well,
yes, sir.
If you've been listening to this episode, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This has been another great episode con el amigo Juan de Dios. Thank you, my friend.
No, muchas gracias.